I promise this is not a clickbait video. In this video, you will see a practical approach to understanding the top 4 camera brands as they operate right now and what looks to be the road ahead for them. And this video is not trying to trick you. Therefore, no need for any hate or any negative emotion. I'm not taking anything away from you or stealing anything. I'm not defaming your favorite camera company, nor am I putting it in any potential trouble. And even if you twist the argument and take it there, and I'm not trying to be negative about my audience, but if any of you twist the argument and take it there, the reality on ground will not change. Okay, first and the most important thing, I want us to be imaginative in a positive way. I want us to expect more from cameras and from camera technologies and its evolution. It's just fun, so let's talk about it. So, why do I want to talk about this supposed Z1? What is the Z1 and why the Z1? Let's not jump to any conclusion or emotion right away. Let's begin with the basics. I want to begin with the state of the market. Camera shipments have fallen from 120 million units in 2010 to just 9 million units in 2020, and it has come down further in 2022. But the drop mostly reflects the death of compact cameras. As an advertising and marketing professional, a massive photography student, tech enthusiast, and a content creator, let me tell you why the market will bounce back. Especially the interchangeable lens camera market will bounce back. See, the digital revolution was responsible for smartphone replacing the bigger cameras for most people. But the same digital revolution has changed the media landscape. TV and print are dying. Social media rules, and therefore businesses are completely dependent on social media. Now, social media is like an always hungry engine that needs constant stimulation of content. Constant. Brands, in order to stay relevant, companies, in order to stay relevant, are forced to make and upload content far more frequently than ever before. Previously, a brand would make one film, one television commercial, and run it for years. Now, every day requires a new product film or a great static or some great static shots. Low budget, high quality content is the need of the hour. What's the solution? Creative people who can cater to this huge exploding market for content. This market will only go up and it will pull the camera market upward with the demand coming from many budding professionals who needs imaging and editing solutions at every price point, at every price level. That's the broad context. Now that's clear. Now, what does this context have to do with the Z1? Well, since the market is shaping up like this, the top camera brands are reshaping their portfolio to match the market demand. So, first thing you need to do is forget how brands used to design their product portfolio 10 years back, even 5 years back. Utterly irrelevant. It's a completely new scenario. Now let's look at the Sony lineup. Look at how Sony have sliced the market with multiple options starting from a $700 US dollar camera going up to 6500 US dollars. Let's also look at Canon. We again see the same thing, and remember Canon have the M mount as well. Below $1,000 is where they start and they go up to 6,000 US dollars in their mirrorless lineup. Let's look at Fuji. We again see Fujifilm slicing the APS-C market very finely in order to cater to small niche segments. And now they're getting into high-speed sports photography scene as well. Now, on top of what you saw from Sony, they also have a cinema line. On top of what you saw from Canon, Canon also have a cinema line. On top of what you saw from Fuji, they have a medium format line. So every camera brand is offering a very wide gamut of products so that they can meet the needs of every niche within this market. And all of them have a big tech demonstrator product line at the top. For Sony, it's the cinema line and the Alpha 1. For Fuji, it's the medium format line and the XH2 right now. And for Canon, it's the cinema line and the R3. No, sir, it will not be the R3. The R3, the R6, the R7, the R5 are all using the pretty old right now Digic X processor. And what can they do with it even today? With just one firmware update, the R5 heats no more. And the R3 can shoot up to 195 frames per second in full RAW. The R1 will have new hardware. The R1 will move into ultra high speed, ultra high megapixel realm so that they can have the final word on what it means to have a flagship. I say that the R1 can easily push out 85 megapixels, 50 frames a second. The XH2 is already doing 40 frames per second. Canon is working on a camera that creates a lasting difference between their flagship and the rest of the market. At least that will be their goal, and Sony will follow. In what world will the Z9 still be a flagship within the next, what, 15 to 20 months? Nikon will be behind again if they do not start on the Z1 right now. The Z1 with extra high speed flash shrink, internal memory, ultra high resolution and ultra high speed shooting capability, internal ND, and all of that in a lighter body than the Z9, so that it has a much wider applicability, so that it can be more easily mounted on gimbals and other camera setups. It can be rigged out easily. The Z9 is a sports flagship for 2022. Pre R1, the one moniker needs to be filled by Nikon, a company that said that its strategy is to be in the high value camera game. 5500 US dollars for a flagship is not premium, reflective of premium market share strategy. In fact, it shows how much better Nikon can do when they unlock the 7,000 US dollar plus segment. And I'm not ruling out a special sensor with 16-bit RAW capability. Everything I talked about will happen eventually. It will happen. Therefore, it better happen with Nikon. Supported by the huge push that Nikon have gotten through the Z9, and that it will continue with the Z8 and the Z7 and the Z6 Mark III. And Nikon needs to do it because they do not nearly have as many cameras as the other three brands. And remember, Fuji have only just 5% of the market share, and even then you see such a large camera body line. Even after this, if you think that the Z1 doesn't make sense, then I have to remind you of Henry Ford.